All right, this is going to be the geometry. This is unit 5, and we are actually going to be doing mid-segment. So today's notes are going to be over mid-segment. So we actually need the handy-dandy notebook to actually go back and do some of this stuff. So if you could, please make sure you do have this. All right, so let's see right here for mid-segment. Going along with the definition I have here, mid-segment is a line that connects the midpoints of two sides of a triangle. The mid-segment is parallel to the line that is across from it, and the mid-segment is 1/2 as long as the side across from it. So I'm going to put half. So it's half, 1/2, 1 divided by 2, ratio of 1 to 2. Okay, half. It is that. Okay, so there's a couple things I'm actually going to have here. So when you guys go and do your notes, I need you to not tape these things down yet. So, because we're going to use the page underneath. So, given the page underneath, we have raw. It says graph these with points here. So we're going to go through and put these points on this graph right here. So I need you guys to go ahead and put these on this. So 5, -4. That's A. We have B is -3, -4.
That's the pre-image?
Yes, this is the pre-image. And then C is going to be 5, 2. Go through, connect the dots. There we go. Now it says, find the midpoint of each line segment using midpoint formula and graph. Okay, so we're going to do this. Now I need you guys, so on your page underneath, on page 11, okay, so from your thing, page 11, underneath, we're going to actually do some work. So I need you guys to take a look. We need some formulas into my handy dandy notebook. The formulas are going to go like this. So we're going to start with these here. Now, these formulas were not in your handy dandy notebook in the first place, so that's why you have those extra spaces to put these formulas in. It's almost like I knew what I was doing before I did it. So we got formula for the midpoint formula and slope formula. We're going to get the distance one here in a moment. Okay, in your handy dandy or your interactive. Interactive is page 11.
Okay.
Interactive is page 11 on handy dandy. You need to just open up to your first page of blanks.
Got it.
Back. All right, so now, given this one right here, midpoint formula, that's x from my first point plus x for the second point divided by 2, y from my first point plus y from my second point over 2. The slope formula is y from my second point minus the y from the first divided by x from the second point minus x from the first. We're going to do that, and so I'm going to write down right here, so midpoint formula. So for the midpoint formula, I'm going to write down the points I have on my page right here, because I'm going to need these here in a minute. So A is 5, -4. B is -3, -4. C is 5, 2. Sorry, there you go. Sorry. So we got that. So those are the things right there. So I'm going to have to do for each of these segments. I do the midpoint of each segment. So I'm going to start with AB. So AB, midpoint. So use the midpoint formula. It has X for my first point. So now what is my first point here? Say A. Very good. So A, so it's going to be 5 plus. The second point is B. So what is the X from the second point? -3. Very good. All over 2, comma. Now the Y's. So it's Y from my first point. So I'm going to have -4 plus -4. All over 2. So I'm just plugging in numbers to the formula. This is going to give me 5 plus -3 is 2, right? 2 divided by 2? 1. So I'm going to have 1, comma. -4 plus -4. Is that -8?
Yes.
Okay, -8 divided by 2. -4. Very good. So that's the midpoint of AB. We're going to do the same thing again, but now we're going to do for the next one is BC. So BC. So my first point is B now. So for my midpoint formula, I'm going to have -3 plus 5 over 2, comma. And then my Y's are going to be -4 plus 2 over 2. Okay, so -3 plus 5. 2 divided by 2? 1. So -4 plus 2? -2 divided by 2? -1. Very good. -1. And then my next one, what's my last point line segment's going to be? AC. Very good. So I have AC. So A is my first point here. So my X value is 5 plus 5. Very good. Over 2. And for my others, my Y's, -4 plus
2
over.
2.
Very good. All right, so now 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is? -4 plus 2 is? -2 divided by 2? -1. There we go. So I have all my work here for this. Okay, so now let's go back to my page. My page right here says, so right here, label the midpoint of AB as D. So that one, so this one right here is going to be point D. Midpoint of BC is going to be called E. Midpoint of AC is going to be F. Very good. Okay, so now I have all my midpoints. So I have the midpoint of each side now. Okay, so let's go ahead and put those on here. So this is going to be, let's see. I have -4 is going to be my D. This is D. The next one is going to be, let's see, -1 is E. There's E. And then 5, -1 is F. Five, -1. Oh, I put them in the wrong spot. Dang it. So this one's supposed to be D. Sorry. And I was trying to copy off my notes and I messed that up. I know. So no one ever watched the video, so I don't actually have to worry about it correcting the video.
Wow.
All right, so we have our points right there. So AC is supposed to be F. Yeah, that one's right now. Okay, so now I have those. I have all those. Now the next thing it says, connect points D and F with the colored pencil. Here's DF right here. So, now, if you actually do want the colored pencil, it's in the box. But if not, you could just use whatever you got. So we have that is what we're looking for there. Yep. So now that we have all this here, it says find the slope of BC and DF. Okay, we wrote down the slope formula here. We wrote down the slope formula. And we're going to use that right now. And I'm going to use it right here. So for my slope, my slope formula. So I have to do BC. So it's the measure. So it's the slope of BC is going to be, now using my slope formula, y2 minus y1. So BC, so what is my second point in this? Someone say C.
C.
Very good. So it's going to be C. So I need the y value from C. It's going to be 2. So 2 minus, what is the y value from B? -4. Over the x value from C. 5. Very good. Minus -3, right? Okay, so we don't mess up this. I'm going to take out my handy dandy. I'm going to show you guys how to do this here momentarily, so watch this. Okay, so given this right here, so there it is. All right, start off this, you do control divide. It's going to set up your fraction. And I have 2 minus -4 over 5 minus -3. So exactly the same as I have it here. So my fraction comes out to be 3 over 4. So I have 3 over 4 there. All right, so now we have the slope of BC. Now it also said find the slope of DF. So slope of DF. So which one's my second point here? F, very good. Y from the second point gives me -1, right? -1 minus, what is y from my first point, which is D?
-4.
-4, very good. Over x from my second point? 5 minus x from my first? Go ahead, plug that in the calculator. So do the control divide, that helps out a lot. -1 minus -4 over 5 minus, it was just +1, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't need the parentheses then. And I get 3 over 4. Okay. 3 over 4. Alejandro, I know you're not napping back there, right? Okay. So, right here we get this. If I recall from yesterday, what does that mean? Are they the same?
Yeah.
Yes.
They are the same. So if they had the same slope, they are? I heard it over there. It's not congruent.
Ratio. Back there.
I heard parallel.
midpoint? Parallel.
I heard like 2 or 3 people say parallel, so that's why I was.
Jada.
Yes, good job. Good job. So, if my 2 slopes are the same, these 2 are going to be parallel, aren't they?
Yeah.
So parallel lines have the same slope. Alright, so let's take a look. Let's fill this in. So the slope of BC was 3 over 4. Slope of DF is 3 over 4. We see that lines are parallel. And I'm going to write have same slope. And they're parallel because they have the same slope. Okay, so now let's go with this next part. Find the length. Now length actually has to go with my distance. And my distance formula is right here in my handy dandy. So that is a triangle. The symbol for this is delta. Delta. So this is the square root of delta x squared plus the square plus delta y squared. So that's all the square root of delta x squared plus delta y squared. Now mathematically, the term delta means how far they are apart. So I'll give you guys a second for that. Alright, so given this formula, let's take a look. And it says we need to find the distance of BC, and I need to find the distance of DF. So now for BC equals, start with my square root. Now I'm going to show you guys how to do this one. So with my distance formula, if we're doing BC, that's these 2 right here, right? Class?
Yes.
Very good. All right, so make sure everyone's still awake. All right, so now, you guys pay attention. This is important. So what the delta x means, I'm looking at my 2 x values for B and C. Delta x means how far they're apart. It means the change. How far is negative 3 from 5? It's not 2, because negative 3 is on the left, right? It's going to be 8. Distance is always positive. So if I were to look on a number line, these 2 numbers are 8 apart. So for my formula, it's going to be 8 squared plus. Now we're going to do my delta y. So we're still at BC. What is my delta y here? It's going to be 6. Because from negative 4 to 2 is 6 apart. That's what that means. So that's going to be 6. Squared is equal to the square root of 64 plus 36 is equal to the square root of 100. And the square root of 100 is 10. Now, we could just do this in the calculator too, but I wanted to show you guys the work for this. So in the calculator, I could just go second x squared, 8 squared plus 6 squared, enter, gives me 10. All right? Now, we're going to do the same thing for DF. So let's bring down DF right here. Equals, I'm going to zoom out a bit. Okay. So for DF, here's D and F. Square root of, how far is 1 away from 5? I heard it? It's 4, right?
Yes.
They're 4 apart. On a number line, they're 4 apart. So that's what it's asking for. So 4 squared plus, how far is negative 4 away from negative 1? 3. It is 3. Equals square root of 16 plus 9 equals square root of 25. Square root of 25 is 5. All right, so we have all that there. We could just put in the calculator from right here, okay, to get the same 5. But I wanted to show my work. All right, so let's go back to my page. So BC is 10, DF is 5. Now, how do the two line segments compare? Can I compare them? So I could say that DF is how much of this one? I heard it? Say half. That's what I was looking for. Half. Where would I get that terminology for? The mid segment is half as long. Ooh. Half of BC. DF is half as long as BC. Does that make sense? This just keeps going back to what I have right here, right? The lines are parallel. The mid segment is half. Okay. Now, connect points D and E with a different color. D and E with a different color. I don't really have. Actually, I do have. I'm going to use this one right here. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Can't you see that? All right. So, find the slope of ED. So now we're going to go back again. So now we're going to go back again, and we're going to do the slope of ED. So the slope of ED, remember the slope formula, so that means D is my second point, right? So if I'm doing ED, so that's going to be -4 minus what? -1, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. So, I'm sorry, -4 minus -1 over, what are my x values? I heard 1 minus 1?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So right here, I'm going to get -4 minus negative, what is minus and negative? Makes a plus, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so -4 plus 1 is? -3 over 0. Very good. Now, what is it when I have 0 on the bottom? Undefined. Very good. So, if it is, watch this, I'll show you. The calculator will actually tell you the same thing too. So, if I do my thing, it's -4 minus -1 over 1 minus 1 undefined. So the calculator will even tell you undefined. So if you get lost to that, calculator helps out. So that's undefined. So let's do the same thing. So now there's ED, and the other one we have to do is CA?
Yeah.
Yeah, CA. So I'm going to write that out, CA. So, which one's my second point in this problem?
A.
A is. So, what is y from the A point? -4, very good. -4 minus, what is the y from the C point? 2. Over, what is x from my A point? Minus, what is x from the C? Very good, 5. So it's 5 minus 5, right? So right here, I should get -6 over 0, right? Negative 6 over 0, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, this one is also undefined. Now, are they the same? That's undefined. Is that one undefined?
Yeah.
If they're both undefined, that means that this is... Yeah, they're both undefined, but if they have the same slope, what does that tell me? Parallel. That's what I'm looking for. So these are going to be parallel now. Okay, so now, you ready to look at it?
Yeah.
So let's just look at it right here. So we talked about ED and AC, right? So these two lines, they're vertical lines, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, they're both vertical lines, so they're undefined. They're both undefined, and if you notice, they keep going in the same direction, don't they? Okay, if they were to keep going, they are undefined.
Okay.
Okay, and they're going to be parallel. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so okay, so I was going to put in here undefined. I'm going to abbreviate for my notes here. Okay, how do they compare? Lines are parallel. And same slope. Alright, find the length of ED and CA. Now, I'm going to show you guys the easy way to do this. So I showed you guys the harder way, which works all the time. I'm going to show you the easy way that only works sometimes. Now, for this right here, ED, does it stay on one of my grid lines? Yes, it's right along the line, isn't it?
Yes.
So if it's right along the line, I can count how many units. So how long is ED? 1, 2, 3, very good.
Yeah.
How long is CA? CA. 6, very good. I got this one right here, right? CA. So this one right here is 6 and this one is 3. Alright, how do they compare? What would I say?
ED is half of.
Very good. ED is half of CA. Okay, and that goes back to my definition of midsegment, right?
Yeah.
Everything goes back to this. These two things right here are going to help you for just about everything. I was looking at the test, and this is actually on the test. As long as you know it's this. Yes? Yes, you can. You can do that. When we do a 2-column proof, you would actually write definition of midsegment. Okay? Now, let's take a look at number 10. Page 10. So this is going in your notebook on page 11. We're going to take a look at 10. This is your practice. So right here, prove DE is a midsegment of ABC using slope and distance. So it's basically doing the exact same thing you did right here for this. This is just giving the graph. Now, for this one right here, down a little bit further. Okay, now it's saying that it is a midsegment. It is a midsegment. Name a segment parallel to the given segment. CD. This is CD right here. What is parallel to CD? PN, very good, right? Is this easy?
Yeah.
Okay. How about this? Find the measurement. So if this is a midsegment, okay, we know that CD is supposed to be how much? Say half.
Half.
Half of
8.
right here. So that means that CD has to be, what'd you say?
8.
8. Very good. All this stuff is that easy. You got this.
Alright.
Okay? So please don't forget, like and subscribe. Comment if you want to. And Master's going to do some tricks if we get 100 views.
Wait, what?